The United Nations is a general council of security. The United Nations was established to replace the League of Nations after World War II. It was established on October 24, 1945 to promote international cooperation. The League of Nations and United Nations differ in many ways. The League of Nations was established after World War I, where many of the United Nations features were made during a war. Also, the League of Nations was a part of the agreement of the peace treaty after World War I, but the United Nations was drafted as an independent legal device at a conference devoted to the making of it. Both the League of Nations and the United Nations goals were to avoid wars and solve legal disputes between countries. The United Nations started off with only 53 member states, but today it has 193 member states. When a country becomes a member state, they have to accept the four principles or purposes of the United Nations. They are to 1. Maintain international peace and security, 2. To develop friendly relations among nations, 3. To cooperate in solving international problems and in promoting respect for human rights, and 4. To be the center for harmonizing the actions of nations. The United Nations is funded by donations from the member states. The United Nations is not a government, but they do make policies for all the member states to follow. All of the member states have a vote in all of the processes of the United Nations. The United Nations helps with avoiding and solving international problems. The United Nations has 6 main organs. They are the General Assembly, which is where the deliberation, policy-making, and representation all occur. The Security Council, which is in charge of maintaining international peace and security. Economic and Social Council, which is in charge of the economic, social, cultural, and health matters, and the human rights and fundamental freedoms. It also coordinates the work of the United Nations and the United Nations specialized agencies. The Secretariat deals with the different day-to-day work of the organization. The International Court of Justice deals with settling legal disputes between states and giving advisory opinions on legal matters. The International Court of Justice headquarters are in the Netherlands. It is commonly referred to as the Peace Palace or the seat of international law. The Trusteeship Council was established for the supervision of trust territories and was also to promote the political, economic, and social advancement of the territories and their development towards self-government and self-determination. The United Nations is an integral part in working towards world peace.